Welcome to the Legends in English. Today, we meet Saint Kabir Das, the weaver who became a saint, the poet who taught love, and the voice that united hearts. Born in 1398 in Varanasi, Kabir challenged blind rituals, spoke truth to the powerful, and showed that God lives in every heart, not in temples or mosques. His simple yet powerful Dohas guide millions even today, teaching love, courage, honesty, and unity. This is a motivational English story to get inspired, improve English, and practice listening skills. Let's explore his life, struggles, wisdom, and eternal message. A story that inspires us to live with truth and devotion. Saint Kabir Das, the saint who spoke to the soul. Introduction. He was born in silence. He lived in truth. And he spoke words that shook the world. When people were divided by religion, he spoke of oneness. When hearts were filled with hate, he spoke of love. When minds were lost in rituals, he spoke of truth beyond temples and mosques. That voice was Saint Kabir Das, a weaver by work, a poet by heart, a saint by soul. He was born in 1398 in Varanasi, a city of temples and rivers, a city of devotion and division. No one knew his real parents, but the world knew his message. That God is not found in stones or scriptures, but in love, honesty, and humanity. Kabir was the voice of the poor. He was the mirror of the proud. He was the bridge between Hindus and Muslims. He said softly, but his words thundered across generations. Pothi pad pad jag mua. Pandit bio na koi. Diakar prem care. Jo paddy so pandit hoy. Reading books all your life will not make you wise. Only 2 letters of love can make you truly learned. He spoke to kings and beggars alike. He lived simply, but his thoughts were vast like the sky. He believed that God lives not in temples or mosques, but in every human heart that beats with love. Centuries have passed, but his Dohas, couplets, still sing in every corner of India. In the temples, in the fields, in the homes of the humble, they whisper one eternal truth. Live with love, speak with kindness, and see God in everyone. That was Kabir's message. That was Kabir's life. That is Kabir's legacy. Early life and struggles. Kabir's life began in mystery. No one knew from where he came, but everyone knew he was born for a purpose. It is said that around 1398, a newborn was found floating in the waters of Lahatara Lake, near Varanasi. A poor Muslim weaver couple, Neeru and Nima, heard the baby's soft cry at dawn. They looked at each other, surprised, afraid, yet touched. They picked up the baby, wrapped him in cloth, and raised him as their own. That child became Kabir, the saint who would one day teach the world that love is greater than religion. He grew up in a small hut, among the looms, threads, and colors of a weaver's life. The days were long, the nights were quiet, and the heart was full of questions. He did not go to school. He did not learn from books, but he learned from life. He watched people pray, but he also saw their hearts full of pride. He saw temples and mosques full of rituals, but empty of kindness. And little Kabir would ask, "Where is God? In the stone or in the heart?" Quote, "In the temple or in truth?" Quote, he spent his early years weaving cloths, but in his mind, he was weaving thoughts, threads of truth, threads of faith, threads of love. He lived in poverty. He knew hunger. He knew pain. But instead of complaint, He learned compassion. Instead of anger, he learned peace. Each sound of the loom became his meditation. Each breath became a prayer. As the loom went, tack tack, tack tack, Kabir's soul whispered, God is one. God is love. People often mocked him. Some called him a Hindu because he loved Rama. Some called him a Muslim because he loved Rahim. But Kabir smiled and said, Kashi ka hu, Magha ka nahi, Mera Ram Rahim ek hai bhai. I belong to Kashi, not Magha. For me, Ram and Rahim are one. My brother. Even in childhood, Kabir faced rejection from both sides. He was too spiritual for the ordinary, too simple for the learned, too fearless for the powerful. But that was what shaped him. That was what made him different. Where others saw difference, Kabir saw unity. Where others saw enemies, Kabir saw brothers. He was born poor, but his words made the world rich. Turning points. Every great life has one moment, one spark, that changes everything. For Kabir, that moment came with a single word. A word of blessing. A word of awakening. A word that turned a simple weaver into a saint. In the holy city of Kashi, Varanasi, lived a saint named Ramananda, a great devotee of Lord Rama. People from far and wide came to learn from him. Kabir, still young, longed to have Ramananda as his guru. But there was a problem. Ramananda was a Brahmin, and Kabir was a weaver born into a Muslim family. Society did not allow such a bond. The walls of caste stood high between them. But Kabir's faith was higher. His heart whispered, if truth is one, if God is one, then why can't a saint teach a weaver? Quote, one early morning, before sunrise, Kabir quietly lay down on the steps of the Panchganga Ghat, where Ramananda came daily for his bath. As dawn broke, Ramananda walked down, unknowing that a young soul waited beneath his feet. By accident, the saint's foot touched Kabir's forehead. Surprised, Ramananda said, Ram, Ram. Quote, Kabir opened his eyes. A smile spread across his face. He bowed and whispered, today, I have found my guru. That one word, Ram, became the mantra of his life. He did not ask for rituals. He did not demand acceptance. He accepted the divine message in that single sound. Guru ke charan sparsh se, man hua pavitra, Ram naam mila, or sab kuch badol gaya. By touching the feet of my guru, my heart became pure. I received the name of Ram, and everything changed. From that day, Kabir was no longer just a weaver. He became a seeker, a saint in the making. He spent hours in meditation, speaking to God as if to a friend. He would say, where are you, my Lord? Are you in the temple? Or are you in my breath? Are you in the sky? Or in this heart? Quote, and the answer always came from within. I am where love is. That moment with Ramananda changed everything. It broke the walls of caste and creed. It united the sacred with the simple. It proved that true wisdom knows no religion, and true guru sees no difference. Kabir became the student of truth, and soon, the truth itself began to speak through him. Failures and challenges. The path of truth is never easy. When you speak light in a world of darkness, the darkness strikes back. Kabir walked that path, fearless, firm, and full of love. After meeting his guru, Kabir began to speak openly about love, unity, and truth. He said that God lives not in temples or mosques, but in the heart that is pure. He said that caste and religion are man-made walls, and God is beyond those walls. His words were like fire. They burned lies. They melted pride. And they lit lamps in the hearts of the humble. But not everyone liked the fire. The priests grew angry. The mullahs grew jealous. The kings grew afraid. "Who is this weaver?" they said. "Who dares to question our rituals?" Quote, "Who is this poor man?" they mocked. "Who teaches saints about God?" Quote, but Kabir smiled. He was not afraid. He said softly, "Moko kahan dunda rebande. Main to terra pass mine. Where do you search for me? O seeker? I am with you. Always within you." He was insulted, humiliated, even threatened. Once, some tried to drown him in the river Ganga. They tied stones to his body and threw him in. But Kabir did not fight. He closed his eyes and prayed. The river carried him gently to the shore unharmed. Another time, they dragged him to the king, accusing him of blasphemy. The king ordered his punishment. Kabir stood calm and said, "If I am wrong, punish me. But if I speak truth, let your heart hear it." When they tried to crush him under an elephant's feet, the mighty elephant refused to move. It bowed before Kabir instead. The king trembled and bowed too. But the pain didn't end. Kabir's greatest struggle was not against kings or priests. It was against ignorance. People wanted God in stones, but not in souls. They worshipped idols, but ignored kindness. They sang prayers, but forgot to live them. Kabir cried for them, not with anger, but with love. He said, "Duk mine sumiran sab care. Suk mine care na koi. Jo suk mine sumiran care. To duk kahi ko hoi." In sorrow everyone remembers God. But who remembers him in joy? If you remember him in joy, why would sorrow ever come? Kabir faced rejection from both Hindus and Muslims. But he never rejected them. He loved both. He respected both. He said, "Allah or Ram dono ek hain. Prem karo sabs. Tab malega sacha bhagwan." Allah and Ram are one. Love everyone, and you will find the true God. He was a weaver, yet he challenged the powerful. He was uneducated, yet he became the teacher of teachers. He was alone, yet his words reached every heart. Yes, Kabir faced storms, but every storm only made his light shine brighter. Philosophy and teachings. Kabir did not preach from books. He preached from life. He did not speak to please the mind. He spoke to awaken the soul. His words were simple, yet they carried the weight of truth. They flowed from his heart and touched every heart that listened. He said, "Prem gali ati sankari. Ta mine du na samai. Jab main the tab hari nahi. Ab hari hai main nahi." The lane of love is very narrow, two cannot walk there. When I was there, God was not. Now God is there, and I am gone. Through these lines, Kabir taught, to find God, you must lose ego. When I disappears, he appears. He did not ask people to change their religion. He asked them to change their hearts. He said, "Bura jo dekan main chala. Bura na milia koi. Jo dil koja apna. Mujzi bura na koi." I went out to find bad people, but found none. When I looked into my own heart, I found none worse than me. Kabir's philosophy was built on truth, simplicity, and love. He taught that God is not outside. He is within. That prayer is not about rituals. It is about purity. That peace is not found in scriptures. It is found in kindness. 2 Kabir. Love was the highest form of worship. He said, Moko kahan dunda rebande. Main to terra pass mine. Why search for me? O seeker? I am with you. Right within you. He believed that the moment we look at another person with love, we are looking at God Himself. Kabir also spoke about truth. He said, Sach bolo. Sake raho. Sach mine hai Bhagwan based hain. Speak the truth. Live the truth. For God lives only in truth. He believed that a life of truth is greater than 1,000 rituals. He said that fasting, worship, or charity mean nothing if the heart is full of pride. Kabir's words were like mirrors. They showed people who they truly were. He spoke in Dohas, couplets, each just 2 lines long, but each carrying the depth of the universe. He said, Jab tu aya jagat mine. Log hunts to Roy. Isi Kani na Kari. Pachi Hants Sab Koi. When you were born, the world laughed and you cried. Live such a life that when you die, the world cries and you smile. That was Kabir's message. Live with truth, love with heart, and leave the world better than you found it. For Kabir, religion was love and service was prayer. He did not ask people to go to temples or mosques. He asked them to go within. He said, Man ke hair ha hai. Man ka jeet jeet. If you lose in your mind, you lose everything. If you win in your mind, you win everything. He turned every difficulty into a lesson, every insult into strength, every pain into poetry. His teachings were not meant for scholars. They were meant for everyone. Farmers, potters, weavers, mothers, children, all could understand his simple words. That is why his message still lives. Not just in books, but in hearts. Major achievements. Kabir was a simple weaver, a man of cloth and thread. Yet his words wove something far greater. A tapestry of truth, love, and devotion that still covers the hearts of millions. He did not write books. He did not travel with armies. He did not rule kingdoms. Yet his voice traveled farther than kings and emperors. He spoke from the banks of the Ganges, from village courtyards, from small gatherings in the lanes of Varanasi, and people listened. His dohe, couplets, became legends. Kabir composed thousands of dohas, 2-line verses, each simple, each powerful, each containing a universe of wisdom. Kal kare so aaj kare so ab, palmi pralay hoyegi, bahuri kariga kab. Do today what you are meant to do tomorrow. What you delay may never be done. Uniting communities. In a time when Hindus and Muslims were divided, Kabir did something extraordinary. He said, Hindu or Musalman ek hain. Prem karo sabs. Tab malega sacha ram. Hindus and Muslims are one. Love everyone, and you will find the true God. People from both religions came to hear him. They came to see a man who spoke not of divisions, but of unity. Even kings and scholars bowed to his wisdom. Kabir's dohas influenced saints like Guru Nanak and many others. His teachings became part of the Bhakti movement, a wave of devotion and social reform across India. People carried his verses in their hearts. They sang his songs in temples, mosques, and homes. He became not just a teacher, but a movement of love and truth, standing against blind rituals. Kabir challenged blind rituals. He told people not to worship idols blindly, not to rely on ceremonies without meaning. He said, Bada hua to kia hua. Jay-Z ped kajor. Panthi ko chaya nahi. Fal laj ati door. What use is being tall like a date palm? It gives no shade, and its fruit is far away. Through these words, he taught practical wisdom, to live a life of purpose, to serve humanity, and to see God in every being. Bridging past and future. Kabir's achievements were not about wealth, fame, or titles. They were about awakening hearts, breaking barriers, and spreading the eternal truth of love and unity. A simple weaver, yet a giant among souls. Poor in wealth, yet rich in wisdom. Uneducated, yet the teacher of teachers. Kabir's life proves true achievement is measured not by riches, but by the lives we touch, the hearts we awaken, and the truths we leave behind. Inspirational short stories and tributes. Kabir's life was full of lessons. Small stories that carried big truths. Story 1. The Weaver Who Challenged Kings. Once, a local king invited Kabir to his court. He wanted to see this simple weaver, who dared question priests and scholars. The king asked, "Who is God?" Quote, Kabir smiled. He said softly, "God is not in the crown you wear, nor in the palace you sit. God is in the heart that beats with love." The king was silent. He realized here was a man who needed no throne, for his words were stronger than any kingdom. Story: Cow and the Temple. Kabir often challenged blind rituals. Once, people told him, "You must bathe in the holy river every day to see God." Kabir looked at a cow drinking water nearby. He said, "See, the cow drinks without fear. The river flows without asking. God is everywhere. In water, in cow, in you, in me." People laughed. Some were angry. But those with hearts open understood. God is not in ritual alone. God is in every act of life. Story 3. The Lamps of Truth. Kabir once asked his disciples, "Which lamp lights the world?" Quote, They showed him many lamps. Kabir said, "No lamp is greater than the lamp of love. Light it in your heart, and it will shine forever." His disciples learned that day. Truth, love, and compassion are brighter than any fire, stronger than any sword, and lasting longer than any stone. What great men said about Kabir, even during his life. Kings, poets, and saints recognized his greatness. Guru Nanak said, "Kabir's words are like the river flowing deep and pure. One who listens with heart finds God." Tulsidas said, "Kabir has woven the cloth of truth from threads of simplicity. His words will remain forever in the hearts of the people." Chaitanya Mahaprabhu praised him. Kabir is the voice of the eternal truth. He teaches that God is beyond temple, beyond mosque, but always within. Even those who opposed him could not deny his wisdom. He was respected, feared, and loved. A true teacher of the human soul. Kabir's stories teach us today. Courage is stronger than fear. Truth is greater than ritual. Love is greater than division. A single heart full of devotion can inspire generations. Legacy, impact and powerful conclusion. Kabir is gone from this world, but his voice still flows. Like the Ganges, his words travel through hearts, touching every soul that listens. He taught a divided world to see unity. He taught the poor to rise in spirit. He taught the rich to look within. Kabir's Dohas are sung even today. They are carved into memory, passed from teacher to student, from parent to child. He inspired the Bhakti movement, a wave of devotion that swept across India. Saints, poets, and seekers followed his path, sharing his vision of love, truth, and equality. His life reminds us, you do not need wealth to influence the world. You do not need power to awaken hearts. You only need truth, love, and courage. Kabir's words unite Hindus and Muslims, rich and poor, scholar and weaver, man and woman. He showed that the greatest temple is the human heart. He showed that the greatest prayer is service. He showed that the greatest devotion is love for all beings. Emotional and poetic narration. He walked through life lightly, yet left footprints that never fade. He spoke in whispers, yet his voice roared louder than thunder. He touched the humble, and even kings bowed in respect. Kabir's lamp of truth burns in every heart that seeks God. His loom of life weaves threads of love across generations. His Dohas are rivers of wisdom, flowing eternally. Life conclusion. Kabir lived simply, but his life was vast. He had no wealth, no palace, no crown, yet he had the greatest treasure: truth, love, and devotion. He taught us that God is not in temples or mosques. He is within us. Love is the highest religion. Courage is the path to change. Truth and simplicity can overcome the greatest obstacles. Kabir said, Jab tu aya jagat mine. Log hunts to Roy. Isi Kani na Kari. Pachi Hants Sab Koi. When you were born, the world laughed and you cried. Live such a life that when you die, the world cries and you smile. Born in 1398 in Varanasi. Kabir's exact birth details remain mysterious. Yet historical records confirm his teachings spread widely by the 15th century. He spent his life as a humble weaver and saint, influencing countless souls, including saints like Guru Nanak and poets of the Bhakti movement. Kabir passed away in 1518 in Maghar, but his Dohas continue to inspire millions. So let us live like Kabir. Speak truth, love everyone, serve with humility, and remember, a single life, lived with love and courage, can light the world forever. Saint Kabir Das may have left this world, but his words continue to get inspired hearts across generations. His simple Dohas teach us love, truth, courage, and unity, showing that God lives in every heart, not just in temples or mosques. This motivational English story helps you improve English, practice listening skills, and learn life lessons from a true legend.